அவளுக்கு இங்கிலீஷ் தான் புரியும். இங்கிலீஷ் உங்களுக்கு புரியுதுன்னா நீங்கள் உட்காரலாம். இன்னும் இங்கிலீஷ் சொன்ன அளவுக்கு புரியும் இல்லையா? ஹரி ஓம். Pranam. We have here some friends from Madurai. So we will try to brief them about what is going on in ashram. Today what should be shared?
Individuality. How to handle individuality?
Tough job. That is why Papa in the quotation in the Glimpses of Divine Vision, he said, who we are. To know who we are is the real quest. We have assumed right from our childhood, when the name was given, when the name is called, we look there, so we have identified with the name. When our mother or elders started taking us when we were children, and when we started knowing the world, they will take this, you look nice, you are wonderful, like that, no, they keep on telling. So we think we are the body. When we go to the school and we score good marks, people congratulate and say you are intelligent. Then we try to identify it with our mind intellect. And later on, we try to thicken this. Name, body, whatever we have, and we started getting our own likes and dislikes. Our rights and wrongs, our preferences, our priorities, our desires, cravings, ambitions, attachment towards our possessions, our name, status, our wealth, all these put together give us the feeling that I am so and so. So the fundamental mistake we all did was, unknowingly, God willed it. Why He did, we cannot ask Him. That we were not made aware that this me and mine was not there at the time of my mother conceiving me, at the time of my developing these 200 and odd organs, and when I came to this world, I did not bring anything. So what is it? So you start thinking, when we get in touch with a spiritual preceptor, until such time we don't know. We think we are this. We have built up our whole life based upon this. We are this either name or body or mind intellect or fame, power, position, status, wealth, cravings, desires. Think. So the fundamental mistake was, where from this I came, that we have not bothered to know. That is why all of us are now struggling to recognize the presence of that power which has been with us. Which has been with us right from the seed level. So this one is a superimposed one, we can say. The reality is something, but there is a superimposition of an image of an individual. And so when we meet with a spiritual guru, the guru says, you are not what you assume yourself to be. You are not what you assume yourself to be. You are that. Tattvamasi, no? Because you originated from that. Not only you, everything. So when the Guru says we are unable to understand, then we go to Srimad Bhagavad Gita or Upanishads or our Vedas, then we slowly try to understand, yeah, this has already been told. Though we learned Bhagavad Gita, we have not understood this. During our satsang classes, sessions we used to take, there are 7 or 8 slokas, hammering this truth again and again and again and again. Which fact we have not understood. We have heard this, but we have not applied our minds earnestly and then tried to identify that source. Yesterday's Papa's quotation. No? There are so many quotations through which Papa has conveyed this. Mahatmas have conveyed this. So we have not taken pains to go deep into it. That is why we still feel we are individual, we are individual, we are individual. Feel always that God is dwelling in your heart. Feel always, all of you can see?
No, they can't see.
Okay. Feel always that God is dwelling in your heart and is making you do all things. This stage is self-surrender. Even when you take the name, you must realize that you do so by the will and power of God. God is all in all. He is the life of your life, the breath of your breath, the soul of your soul. Know this truth. So feel always that God is dwelling in your heart. The individual refuses to accept. Though we have faith in the words of our Master, it doesn't go beyond our lip level. There are so many bhajans, so many sayings of so many Mahatmas. We read, that's all. Because the power of the individual is so strong, it refuses to accommodate. We may read, feel always that God is dwelling in your heart, but we are not feeling it. We are reading it, that's all. In Papa's life, we could understand in 2 years' time he could get stabilized in it, because it was intense. The chanting was going on with the right perspective. With that, he was able to. Even Puja Mataji was able to. When she was 28 years When she was 28 years, she came here, correct. She was born in 1903. So when she must have come to Papa in 25th or 26th year. And in 2 years' time, she also could scale herself to that height. Now we are thinking, for 20 years, 30 years, we have been associating with Papa's thoughts. We have been chanting his name. Still our me and mine is strong. So what fine-tuning I have to do? So the question raised is very pertinent, because that is the main road, main block. In spite of hearing, in spite of doing, in spite of conducting so many programs, we still feel the dominance of me and mine is more. So for the first step, probably Papa wanted all of us to know the individual. That is why this question was raised. Unless and until we have got a clarity about this projected image of our personality, we will not be able to know our inner content, the core of our being. It is not a mistake. Every day, day-to-day dealing, we are immediately, our name is called, Right from morning till night, how many times somebody, we are identified as so and so. When our body is not seen, they won't say he is unseen. So every moment of our life, this is being concretized. That is the struggle. That is why even when we attend a satsang session, even we sit before this Google Meet, I want to attend the Google Meet, no? I want to share some thoughts. I want to ask this question. This I comes, So now, we can only try to get out of the I with the help of the I. Don't think we can eliminate this I and try to know. No. And this I, we can definitely say, cannot be erased totally. Because the body is there, no? So now we are trying to evolve a method by which the I becomes aware of the source from which it is drawing the energy. Here everybody has to think deeply. Even when we take up spiritual disciplines, going to ashram, going to temple, doing nama chanting, doing bhajan, hearing satsang, going through shastras, thinking about it, all these things are taking place at the individual level only. So we don't have to imagine that there is a thing by which, I will not be there. Because that very thought comes from this I only. So we have to devise a method where, let us not try to think that I should go. Let the I know its own origin. So that the I exists. At the same time, I know where from I draw the energy to exist. I as an individual exists. Because immediately after that, when you go out, you will be called by name. If you are working in your company, you have an identity there. Even otherwise, we all carry the identity card nowadays, in the form of Aadhaar, PAN, voter identification card, when we work abroad, passport. All these things they try to concretize the sense of individuality in us, without which we cannot move. Even if we have to go to an ashram, we have to show the Aadhaar card there. So the individuality is always identified. So we have to now try to. There was a time when nobody asked anything, but now it is not so. God willed that for the setup you need to have the identity authorized by the government. These are all blunt truths. So let us all try to understand the source from which, or the origin from which, this sense of individuality has come into being. This is something on which we have to keep on thinking. Eradicating the ego sense is the normal word we hear. Nice to say that. But why is it that in spite of hearing, in spite of our having faith in the words of our master, we are unable to do? Because it has been ingrained in us, this me and mine, this individuality with a name and form. It is very much close to us. So we will all devise a method by which the individuality becomes aware of the source from which it has come. That is the only way. And we have seen those who have tried to identify the source, they have been able to come out of the clutches to a very great extent. So that means even while leading an individual life, they are always identifying with a higher dimension, not merely the individual dimension. Previously, we have been thinking only in terms of self-centeredness. Now, because of our association with Mahatmas, their teachings, slowly it has come to our being. There is there is an unknown source, God, who is the first source of us. At that time, this me and mine was not there. So let us try to contemplate upon the source as much as possible. And that is why even this question comes. That means our priority is getting shifted from the individual to the subject. So none of us have to feel that it is out of question. No. It is out of question when you say we have to completely eliminate this ego, individuality. No. Retaining that individuality. How will I scale myself to the height of Papa? He retained the individuality. At the same time, he was identifying with the higher dimension. He continued to live in that body till 1963. We can say that 27 means 27, 28, 30, okay. 1922, no? 1922, okay. Even if you take 23 or 24. At that time he was 37, 38 years old. So let us take 40. And he dropped the body in his 79th year. So 40 plus another 39, another 40 years roughly. For 40 years he was able to maintain the same individuality, and at the same time knowing that the individuality is totally there because of the grace of that power. So this is a proven statement. As soon as he realized, he did not do away with the individuality. He gave a name to that individuality also. We call it as Papa. He named it as Ramdas. People started addressing as Swami Ramdas. But to all of us, he is Papa.
Swamiji,
Ah.
so this is what I wanted to ask you. The name shifts.
Huh?
When you became a saint, the name shifted.
Ah. Name?
I can't understand, Auntie. Repeat, please.
The name shifted.
The name shifter, it seems.
Name shifted.
Yeah, the name gets shifted from
Vittal Rao to Ramdas.
Ah.
Ramdas.
Ah. So that also we can interpret. The name changed. The name was identifying with the old individuality. The new name was accommodating a higher dimension also. But when we take the case of Mataji, she did not change her name. The same name was retained. We take the example of Gandhiji. Even after scaling the heights, he did not change his name. He will always sign as M.K. Gandhi. So there are so many instances where they have not changed their name. In some instances, they have changed their name. That's all.
He was called Mahatma, no, Swami?
He was called Mahatma.
Mahatma. Not small Atma. Mahatma.
Swamiji,
Ah.
I want to know the practical aspects because
She wants to know the practical aspect.
This is practical only, no? The individual, I am there. But I cannot wipe away this individuality. But I should try to know the source from which I am existing.
all the time.
All the time. That is how the Nama comes. The Nama keeps on reminding us of the source, of that reservoir from where I keep on drawing the energy, which is called life force or awareness. These are not theories. Every moment we are reminded. But with that dimension we should look. Just like we are unaware of our heartbeat, we are unaware of our inhaling, exhaling. But the moment we come to know what is the attitude that comes to us. During COVID, those of us who were struggling for breath, when the SpO2 level comes down, saturation point comes down, we all struggle for breath. Then after when we come out, now these things are going on well, but are we becoming aware of our breathing? So suppose now we remember about the struggle in the COVID time. When we even many of them paid money for oxygen. Even now there may be some patients, who find it difficult for breathing. So they are always they don't move out of their house. They are always with the oxygen cylinder. And look at us. We are not moving with oxygen cylinder. Because the great oxygen cylinder is producing the oxygen, and it has been fine-tuned in such a way that it will go inside and come out even without our knowing. So when we become aware of the power, what happens in us? We develop a gratitude. We know that no other person is responsible for my breathing. The air has been given to me These are all practical, blunt truths. I am not aware, but I should become aware. Every moment of life, I must try to become aware. Spiritual aspirants become aware of that. That is why Papa's quotation comes, Every day we repeat that prayer here, na? Adorable presence, thou who art within and without and all around, above and below and all around. Thou art interpenetrating the very cells of our being. Thou art the eye of our eyes, ear of the ears, heart of our hearts, mind of our minds, soul of our soul. Like that we repeat, What for? To connect ourselves with the source. So while retaining the individuality, because to move away from the individuality it is out of question. So retaining the individuality, we try to become aware of the source. That is why Papa said, when you chant, you should know I am chanting the name because you make me to chant. So the individuality remains, but the individuality becomes aware of the power because of which it exists. Individuality is encased through this body, mind, intellect equipment with all the three gunas inherited from the previous birth, which is called our Svabhava. All this because we were not aware of the source. And Shastras say that why did I become not aware? In that, in Atmabodh, Shankara says, Anadi avidya anirvacha karanopadiruchyate. This ignorance or what you call this unawareness or not becoming aware of the God principle in me, which is called ignorance, ajnan. It is undated, beginningless. Anadi avidya, which cannot be explained, anirvachya. That is the karanobadi, that is the causal body. That is the cause because of which you and I have got this individuality. And the next line is the one which gives us some hope. Upadi tridayam anyam atmanam avadharayet. First he explained about the gross body, the subtle body and the causal body, and he says Atman is beyond these three. So through these three bodies, we try to become aware of him. There is no other way. So by going deep into this theme, this sense of individuality slowly becomes aware of the power because of which it exists. In the Vyavaharik level, nowadays we don't know. Previously, when somebody is managing an institution, the manager will give a power of attorney to his trusted deputy. With that power of attorney, he will sign on behalf of the proprietor. That the power drawn because of that power given to him by the owner. When the individual forgets about this and acts in contrary to that, he will have to face consequence. But when I have been given a power of attorney, when I sign, when I handle matters, I will not think in terms of the individual. I will think in terms of the power given to me, and I become loyal to the institution or the proprietor. His interest is what I want, not my interest. God has given us a power of attorney in the manner of an individuality. But we have forgotten the power, and we function as an individual. And then naturally we have to face consequences. That is the stressful period. That is why we feel always, not peaceful, stressful. Think. Those of you who know about this power of attorney can understand easily. When we sell our property, suppose the buyer does not have the required funds for the registration and the stamp paper. He may say, you give us a power of attorney, we will do it later. So instead of executing a sale deed, we may give a power of attorney giving him absolute right. So the individual is drawing the power based upon that document. He can sell to anybody, he can pledge it anywhere, because he has got that power of attorney. So we can now take it. God, when he gave us this creation and this individuality, he has given his power of attorney to us, but we have forgotten. So the Guru comes and says, you are not what you are. You are what you are because of him who is inside, who has given you the power to exist. The moment we leave that power, position, we don't have any power. You see, people who are occupying positions, when they retire, that you can easily understand, whether he is in the police department or income tax department or any other department, the moment he retires, he loses all the power. So he is drawing the necessary power because of that appointment. If he forgets that and he feels I am that officer, then he is in trouble. We come under that category. We have forgotten the power given to us. We are enjoying the power, but we have forgotten the source. So we are praying to him, you made me to forget. Kindly make me aware that you have given me the power. Think, it will become clearer and clearer. That is why in that particular quotation, now it is becoming clear. Now that the question has been asked, it is becoming clearer and clearer. Try to enter into the mysterious origin of your and world life. To know who you are in reality is the real quest. To know who you are in reality, that is a very important word. Name, fame, power, position, priority, preference, everything came after a certain age, before that what I was. And if that I was not there, will I be able to have all these appendages? Nothing wrong in the appendages. For Vyavaharic dealings, all these things are necessary. If the name is not there, how will we call each other? How will we identify each other? If we don't have basic requirements of ourselves, how will we survive? Suddenly we realize all these are valid, but only one thing we have forgotten, the fundamental thing, that we have drawn from him, that's all. That is why Papa used to say, possess things, not be possessed by them. Nothing wrong with a family life, nothing wrong with a professional life, nothing wrong with a social life. Nothing wrong with any of the possessions we have. But the only thing is we should know where from we have come. Then we can handle everything. We can possess everything. As a trustee we will have in our mind. Not individually we will own anything. Mentally. We need not tom-tom, but mentally we will not. Previously when we were working with the Jain, immediately after we joined him, there was some problem. So at that time on one night, I still remember the words he used. In Malayalam he said, we have not brought anything when we came, So how can we say this is mine? നമ്മൾ വരുമ്പോൾ ഒന്നും കൊണ്ടുവന്നിട്ടില്ലല്ലോ സ്വാമി. നമ്മളതെന്ന് പറയാനില്ല ഉള്ളത്. He was hardly 23 or 24 at that time. For all other purposes, he was having more than 160 acres of coffee estate, and he was the manager of another 100 acres, 200 acres, and was having about 200 or 150 laborers, about 40 or 50 staffs. And this person says, we have not brought anything when we came. He is aware of the source. But for all practical purposes, we were dealing as if, it is ours. So it is the sense of individuality, don't think that it has to be completely eliminated. It is not possible. God has given, I did not ask for sense of individuality. He gave me the sense of individuality. I will retain this. At the same time, I will know that it is He who has given me this sense of individuality. Previously, I was not aware of the sense of individuality. He has given. I was thinking that I am the absolute. I am a self-made man. I never thought that there are so many contributory factors because of which I exist. But now slowly it is revealing. So when we say the sense of individuality is the roadblock, we should know this also. It is a roadblock in the sense it prevents us from knowing. Correct. That is why we say I am individual. But since it is an inevitable thing, we cannot avoid it as long as we have got this embodied self. As long as we have not purged off the vasanas. Because if I have not purged off, I will continue to come and go. I will be born again and again and again. Punarapi jananam, punarapi maranam. Punarapi janani jadare shayanam. So until and unless I get rid of all my this thing, I will not be able to get myself freed from my sense of individuality. So retaining this individuality, I will try to connect myself so that the scriptures and my guru say that a day will come when you will be totally free from vasanas and you will become one with the power. So we are all set on the path. And to constantly remind of the goal as well as the path, we have been given this Ramnam. Not merely the goal, but also the path. Because after a certain stage we will realize the goal and the path are same. So today he made us to go deeply into this individuality. Those of you who have worked, drawing authority from your company or individual in the form of some position, can easily understand. You are there only because of the power given to you, the position given to you by the company. The moment you forget about that, what happens, that we all know. After our retirement, after our dismissal, after our getting discharged, what happens to us? Same thing. God has given us this power to exist, to function. He gave us this sense of individuality to function, but we have forgotten. We think we are absolute. And so we have to go through all this. And the moment we become aware of the power, our attitude towards men and matters become totally different. We will not name anything as negative or positive, adverse or good, because everything is done by Him. At the same time, the individuality is there. Ramakrishna Paramahamsa used to say as the pakka ego and kacha ego. So until we get ourselves fully cleared, we have to retain, so nothing wrong. That is what we feel now. When we go through this exercise, what comes to us is that. Simple thing, I did not ask for individuality. He gave me this. He gave me this so that I will try to know Him. If He has not given this, I will not know Him at all. But I unfortunately forgot all these things and started thinking that I am the absolute. So naturally, so many unfulfilled desires were there. Then I have to take birth after birth after birth. And I always forget. But at the same time, He also makes me to get in touch with noble people and make me to aware that I am not what I am, what I assume myself to be. Srunvandu Vishwe Amritasya Putraha. We are all heirs of that immortal bliss. We are not to identify with this smaller section. We can identify with the higher dimension. The whole world is mine. Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. In that Maha Upanishad, now that you ask, it's a wonderful thing. The Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, now that the G20, there is a big Government of India's program. There you will find Ayam Nija Paroveti Gananam Laguchetasam Udara Jaridanam tu Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. This Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam was the word that they used for it. One family. அப்புறமா சொல்கிறோம். இங்கிலீஷில் தானே எல்லாரும் கேட்டுருக்கா இல்லையா? சொல்கிறோம் அப்புறமா சொல்கிறோம். Who he says in this Maha Upanishads, this one is a friend, that one is a stranger. These are with the people of petty mindedness. People with evolved consciousness embrace the entire world as their own family. Ayam nija paroveti gananam laguchetasam udara charidanam tu vasudhaiva kutumbakam. So Papa here says, the life principle that activates all being is the same. We all breathe the same air, walk on the same earth, and are equally entitled to the enjoyment of the amenities which nature provides. The earth yields its rich gift to all alike. The differences between man and man on the material plane are, in truth, unnatural and improper. Because the component parts and the composition of human bodies and the qualities inherent in them are not diverse and conflicting. If we look with the pure vision that belongs to an enlightened mind, we do not see any clear-cut line of demarcation that isolates man from man, one set of people from another, one nation from another. We are indeed parts of a stupendous whole. We are units that form the world community or family. We can live and act as members of a world brotherhood or federation. So while retaining the individuality, we become a part of the whole. And common sense can lead us. We are all interconnected, interdependent. So God wants us to become aware of this and function as an individual. Self-centeredness will disappear. Selflessness will appear. Keeping the self. Niswarth, no? You continue to live as an individual with Niswartha Bhava. So individuality is not eliminated. That's why he used the word enlightened mind. If we look with the pure vision that belongs to an enlightened mind. Enlightened mind means not confining to the me and mine. We become aware of the broad dimension or broader dimension. Normally when we have a feeling, we would have developed a feeling that this sense of individuality, normally we all say that it's a roadblock. So when we say roadblock, we don't think, it is not possible for us to get rid of this. Because of the platform, because of which we are talking, is because of the mind and body-mind complex. So this BMI complex is the platform through which we are expressing. That is why before coming to that, when we were drafting, it comes to us. Both are valid, we are trying to learn. Only through the creation, only because of the Creator, the creation has come. Only because of the creation we know about the Creator. Only because of the Creator, the creation has come into being. Only because of the creation we happen to strive towards becoming aware of the Creator. So both are valid. So we are not belittling the importance of the sense of individuality. Kindly think about it. We are trying to remember our source, the power from where we draw this, the sense of individuality. It is a power of attorney given to us by Him to function as an individual in this world. We have forgotten that power. We feel we are the masters. So spirituality only points out you function as an individual, but remember the power from where you are drawing. Drawing the very existence. Good. It's a very good topic. When we plunge deep into it, we may be able to unearth more and more. Because we remember this power of attorney document, you might be knowing, Mukhtiyar. Because that is the one that document gives us the power to function as an individual. Or in our language, anybody, suppose he is a collector, he is the chief secretary, he is the any officer, for that matter. He draws the power from that position. And the moment he retires, suppose he behaves well, knowing the power, he will be absolutely honest, straightforward, upright. Even after retirement, he will be respected by people, though he is not having any power. We remember one senior IAS officer who was the chief secretary of the then UP. We are talking about 30, 40 years back. Must be minimum 40 years back. So we had to go to Delhi. He was in Delhi. Some paper got stuck in the finance department, some certificate. So he informed us, when we happened to be in Delhi, he said, "You please come. I will take you to the department." He is a retired person. But as soon as he took us there, all the officers stood up. "Yes, sir, what is the name?" Then he introduced us and said, "They are coming from Anandashram. Their paper is somewhere here." Immediately, they sent word to the deputies, find out where there is a paper coming from Anandashram. And in 10 minutes, 15 minutes time, they reported there is no such paper. So immediately the top man, he is also an IAS officer in the finance department. He immediately said, "You give me the details." And he took our copy. Immediately he has got the photostat machine. He took a copy of it. And he said, "Probably it must have got stuck up in such and such an office. If you have got devotees, ask them to go and trace and follow, ask them to send it to here. As soon as it comes here, it will be disposed." And he kept up his word. As soon as we were able to unearth from in the office where it got stuck up, and it reached this office, in 1 week time, he sent the order and he gave us the information through telephone. All because, not because of us, not because of Anandashram, but because we were taken by that officer. I could feel the body language the moment he stepped into it. Everyone got up. We are a stranger. But he went and they got up. "Yes, sir, what is that you want to?" So that means he has not misused that power. Uprightness, honesty, sincerity. So this also, so when we are conscious of the power, God, our activities, our thought, words and deeds will be in line with that. Never in a distorted way, self-centered way. That is why we call them as Mahatmas, They have never misused it. So that is why they are still respected. Even after they drop the body, they are still adored, worshipped. Because they knew the power. And the power is in everybody. That is why they were not thinking in terms of me and mine. And those people are still revered. So let us all think about so many dimensions today Papa has given to us. So many dimensions about this sense of individuality, which is the fundamental point which we need to clarify ourselves. So Papa's that word, to know who you are in reality, is the real quest. Tomorrow come out with something like that. And don't leave this. Do some manana. The authority from where we derive the power. Okay? Hari Om.
Swamiji, Hari Om, Swamiji, every day new things are coming. Yesterday.
Glory to him.
Flat and building. Today, power of attorney, position, everything, Swamiji. Manana is needed.
Manana is.
Manana.
Yeah.
Hammering, every day hammering.
Hammering. Hari Om. Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Ram. Om श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम ओम। श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम ओम। श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम ओम।